Well, welcome to Thursday Night Live. Thank you for joining me again. I think we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to take a look at a group of notes that I received from PCGS grading. Now, there are 9 notes in this group, and this group was mailed on March the 2nd, and I received it on June the 1st. So, spot on 3 months. This is the value tier, which is a little faster than economy, costs you a little bit more than economy, but I wanted to see how fast I would get them back. Well, 3 months is the answer. Sounds pretty good to me. That's about how things run. We're going to get started here in just a moment. One of the notes that is in this group is actually, well, if it were a coin, we'd call it a crack out, because I actually cut it out of an old PMG holder, and you will see why in a minute, because when we get to that note, I will show you a short video of the old holder and explain to you why I cracked it out. But first, hello everybody. I see Dean, Retired Navy Rob, Sneaky Pierre, 10J Paper, Currency Kids. Thank you for being here. So, without any further ado, let's cut this tape and see what's in this box. Now, I may have to remove some personal information, so excuse me a second while I do that. Yes. Okay. Here are the notes. Let's cut this off here. All right. And let's get started. This first note is a $20 bill from the Bank of South Carolina. Now, I have not seen these notes. This is the first time I'm looking at them as well. So I'm pleased to get a 25. Let's see if there are any comments. Not any comments at all. That's pretty good for an obsolete. That's pretty good. Looks nice. Very happy with that. This Bank of Camden note, let's see, is dated looks like 1854. That's a pretty note. That's a 20. Let's see if there are any. No notes on that. So no comments. Very pretty note. Very, very nice. All right. This is also from this is State Bank, South Carolina. This one's a 20. Let's see, Benjamin Franklin over here and Washington on the right. Sorry, I can't remember what that vignette is in the center, but looks pretty good. Another note with no comments, so that's very nice. Very, very nice. Again, so far I'm pleased with these grades. This note can also be found without this 20 overprint. They're a little bit more, I think a little rarer. Now this Bank of Charleston note, you don't see the Bank of Charleston notes as often. They're a little harder to come by. But I like the tint on this, the color. Very nice. You see I believe that's described as Moneta with strong box. See a train, I believe it is in the background too. That's pretty cool. Nice. Very, very nice. And again, no comments. Wow, that's great. Circulated obsoletes are, get them up, 20 and above is pretty good. Let's see. Now, this Bank of Chester note, when I saw this, I just had to Had to buy this with all this color. You've got, I believe his name was McDuffie, and of course you got Calhoun in the middle, and Elmore, I believe was his name. We're talking former governors and senators in South Carolina. This is a really pretty note. This is not a design you see very often either. And, but who's that in the middle? That's John C. Calhoun. Smiling's face there. I really thought this note honestly would grade a little higher than this, but hey, no comment, so I'm not really disappointed. Nice note there. All right, this is a Bank of Hamburg. You don't see these 50s very often. Rated 15. This vignette in the center is, for lack of a better term, sort of based on or a takeoff on the Pennsylvania state coat of arms, which is an odd choice for a vignette here, but I like it, with the horses and the eagle shield. It's kind of cool. This is a pretty note. Hid numismatist, glad to see you. Currency kids, Big Apple. Thank all of you for being here. I really appreciate it. Wow, again, will we make it all the way through this group and not get any comments? That is fantastic. Now, here is the note. I'm going to turn that over for a second. I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to share with you a short video I made about this note. Let's watch that. Here we go. I never thought I'd do this, but I plan to cut this note out of this PMG holder and submit it to PCGS for grading. You're probably saying, why? Why don't you leave it alone? Well, first of all, and I don't know if this comes through on the video, but this holder looks like crap. It's a very old PMG holder. You can tell by the green bar that goes all the way around. And PMG worked, PMG was pretty tough on these obsoletes when they first started. So I think this note might even grade a little higher, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. When I first got this note, and I wish I'd taken video of it then, but there were moisture bubbles all along the outside of this. So I don't think this holder is airtight anymore. That's my main concern. This paper is so thin. As you can see, this is just, I feel no weight at all in my hands. I know I've done a video like this before, but this is really, really thin. Now, there's a lot about these sleeves that I don't like, but I use them for obsoletes because they're open on both ends and at the top. So it makes it easy to slide the note into the holder. I'm always afraid I'm going to damage obsoletes because the paper is so thin. Wish me luck. Okay, that note left here as a 12, came back a 15. I'm happy with that. I'm also happy that it's in a new holder now and hopefully protected. I like the colors in these. Oh, writing in pencil. Okay, someone wrote on this one somewhere. Okay. That's not bad though. That's a pretty note. Speaking of a pretty note, I like this one too. It's not a South Carolina one. This is a Trenton, New Jersey Merchants Bank note, $2 bill. General Winfield Scott on the face. This is a great note. This was an eBay find, and always worth your time to spend a few minutes on eBay, and you just never know what you might run across. This note came back with pinholes, but with obsoletes, I don't even really consider pinholes a comment because most of them have that. There's another version of this note. Let's see, I can't recall the bank's name at the moment, but I remember it's from Easton, Pennsylvania. It's a real pretty note with General Winfield Scott on it, and there's a lot of color. I remember this good bit of color on the face of it, so I want to keep an eye open for that one as well. Hope everyone's doing well. Got one last note here. Oh boy. Wow, this $5 Bank of Washington, North Carolina note, famous for all the colors, came back a 66 PPQ. That is awesome. I'm very happy for that. Wow. What a pretty note that is. I'm actually overwhelmed. There's a train with that. That's really, really pretty. That is a great note. Thanks. Wow. Again, I want to take a moment to thank everyone for being here. Yes, it is a great grade. Very surprised to get a 66. Let's see, Rock 22, looks like Chi-Town Currency. There's Edward. See if I've missed anybody I haven't said hello to before. I think I mentioned Currency Kids. Go over and check Currency Kids channel out too. He has some great notes on his channel as well. Let's see. Um, I'm grading, as you can, most of the notes are obsolete notes, rather, in my collection. As a matter of fact, I have another group of notes at PCGS that might very well get here by next Thursday. So we might have another unboxing next week. There's a chance. And that box has 20 notes in it. So we'll have a lot to look at next week. I really appreciate everyone watching these weekly videos, these weekly lives. I enjoy doing them. I hope you enjoy watching them. And so please like, subscribe, comment, and thanks for stopping by.